The following program on PBS 39 is made possible in part by Arts Weekly, celebrating regional expression, performance, and creativity, is brought to you in part by the Edward D. and Ione Auer Foundation, the Ian and Mimi Rowland Foundation, the family of Dr. Christopher and Kirsten LaSalle, and the support of viewers like you. Thank you.
This is Arts Weekly.
Arts Weekly is produced in cooperation with the College of Visual and Performing Arts at IPFW, offering degrees in fine arts, music, theater, and visual communication and design.
Welcome to Arts Weekly. I'm Melinda Haynes with the IPFW College of Visual and Performing Arts. Today's show is about the IPFW Riverfest celebration taking place this Saturday, June 22nd. In the second half of the show, I'll be joined by Fernando Tarango, one of the many musicians performing at Riverfest. But first, we'll meet Sarah Payne, the project manager for this great free community event held along the banks of the St. Joseph River on the IPFW campus. The entire community is invited to this day of festivity and celebration for one of Fort Wayne's most prominent natural resources, our rivers. It's a day for families, friends, and anyone who loves nature, sports, art, music, and food to indulge themselves in a day of riverside activities. From early morning to late at night, you'll find events for all ages. The mission of IPFW Riverfest is to preserve, protect, and promote Fort Wayne's rivers by raising awareness through education and fun. But it goes way beyond that, and Sarah Payne is here to tell us all about it. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you.
I am so glad you're here because I want to hear all the details of what's been going on with Riverfest to share it. Now, it's been going on for several years, hasn't it?
Yeah, this will be our fourth year actually. So it's a new festival, but we're so thrilled with the community's embracing the festival. So even though we've only been doing this for 3 short years, the fourth year I know is going to drive so many people to the event and so much excitement because the community really has embraced it.
Well, and you have tens of thousands of people who come to this event.
Absolutely, we do. You know, it's very hard to estimate because the festival is free, so we don't charge admission or parking, but we estimate close to 25,000 people come out and enjoy the day.
Well, I know it feels like that. Sometimes when you're out there, you see, you know, so many people, but it's over such a large area. You don't feel crunched, but you can tell that there are just lots of other bodies out there enjoying the day. Now, tell me about the history of Riverfest. How did it start? Why did it start?
Well, you know, Riverfest I think is just really a small part of what the community is looking to embrace, and that is that Fort Wayne's rivers are the most special natural resource that we have. And so I think that Riverfest really came out of a lot of conversations happening in the city and county about a need to really embrace the rivers and understand the importance of educating the community, but doing it in a way that is really fun. And so we recognize that if there is going to be a momentum behind this, that we need to do it in a way that gets the community involved. And so Riverfest is the perfect way to introduce people to the rivers, and if they have already had an experience on them, reintroduce them. We get a lot of stories for people who said, oh, I love to boat on the rivers, or I enjoyed that when I was a child and I haven't been out on the rivers for years. So we think it's a really great way for people to really engage in the rivers.
Well, and you know, there really aren't too many places in the city where you can go and enjoy the rivers. We don't have riverfront dining, too much of that, you know, maybe at Hall's Deck, but
I would say not yet. I think there's a lot of excitement around those things that are happening. It's tough to get a seat at Hall's Deck. You know, I think that that's going to be really what we're seeing as the future, because I think the community, like I said, is really embracing it.
It's indicative of that the community really likes their rivers and wants to do something with them.
Absolutely.
So IPFW collaborated with some other organizations to start Riverfest, or you were telling me a little bit about the history of some of these other river organizations and how it came to be.
Yeah. You know, IPFW is the host of Riverfest, and so they are such a generous supporter of all that we're doing, but it's really a collaborative effort that there are a lot of different organizations that are working to promote and protect the rivers. They're looking to do a lot of educational pieces, and Friends of the Rivers actually came out of that. So what IPFW has done is supported Friends of the Rivers, and we are providing a lot of these different groups really a stage to talk about their missions and what they're doing to support river quality.
So there's the educational component as well as the fun and the food component.
There is. You can learn so much about river water quality and what you can do to impact that quality, and you can learn as much or as little as you want at Riverfest. What we think is going to happen is we actually have a lot of different organizations that are giving snippets of seminars all day long, so people can come out and actually learn. And we know one of the most popular things that people can do at the day is we have pontoon boat rides, canoe and kayaking that people can do to actually get onto the water, and we know that once they're on the water, it's going to spark that interest level.
Yeah, that just makes a whole difference when you're out on the water. You don't think about it, and you're like, wait a minute, we really have this great natural resource here, so to be able to get them in there is a great thing. So what are some of the differences about this year's Riverfest from previous years?
Well, the biggest difference is we're in a new location. Yeah. We're still on IPFW's beautiful campus, but we have moved further north. We were trying to avoid some upcoming construction happening at the entrance of IPFW off of Coliseum. And so we decided to move Riverfest north, and I think everyone who comes out is going to be very impressed. The area that we've moved to is, I think, a little bit of a secret on IPFW's campus. I'm hearing so many people that come out are so shocked at how beautiful it is. We've got beautiful views of the river, lots of shade, lots of grassy areas for people to come and enjoy. And so I think we're going to really share that secret with the community in a way that hasn't been done before. The other thing I like about it is it's in an area of IPFW that has seen a lot of new growth. So it's very accessible. There's very easy parking and close parking. I heard, we're really close to the newest parking garage, and I was told that what they have available in parking in one garage is what we had in parking for the whole area last year. So people are going to find that parking is much more convenient.
Well, and it's been nice to see all of those tents go up and everything over there. It's like the real party atmosphere is starting. So people will be encouraged to park near parking garage 3 and on that end. Of campus. So what, is there a better entrance than another to come in?
Nope. If they come in either off of St. Joe or Crescent Road, they're going to be able to come into either parking garage 2 or 3. When they get out, they'll be very, very close to the festivities in either of those 2 areas. So as long as they go north, the biggest story that we want to share is that we aren't in the same location. So we don't want people to come in off of Coliseum or drive past on Coliseum and be nervous that they don't see quite the amount of things that they had seen there in the past. Most of that has gone up north, that we will still be having a lot of activities on Federally Bridge.
Well, tell me about this cardboard regatta. That's one of the new things this year. Tell me about that.
It is, and that is actually happening at the bridge. The cardboard regatta is a partnership that we're having with the IPFW Alumni Association, and they are encouraging people to come out, build a boat entirely out of cardboard, duct tape and glue. They can paint the boats, but that is it. So, we're seeing, actually there's a lot of different categories, anywhere from a 1-person boat to a 10-person boat.
My goodness.
So that tells you the durability that you can get out of these cardboard boats. It's really amazing. You can go to our website to get a building guide, or the IPFW Alumni Association's website, and there are great tutorials on how to build a boat. Obviously Riverfest is this Saturday, and so if you haven't started building a boat now, don't worry. You can still do it. We actually have day of boat building, so we're going to give people the cardboard, the duct tape, all of the tools that they need to actually build a boat on site too.
Well, and then you've got your artists who are there, the artisans. Tell me about the art area.
ArtFest is a really beautiful area of Riverfest. This is actually one of my favorite areas, and we've actually moved it. It's going to be sitting right in between the Visual Arts Building and Reinhardt Music Center. There's a beautiful shaded area. We have local artists from all over the region actually that come and bring all kinds of arts and crafts, pottery, painting, photography, really anything that you could imagine is going to be there.
And the music. Tell me about the music that's going on the stage that you have set up. Is there more than one stage? Or?
And there's one stage.
Okay.
It's live music from 2 o'clock on through the fireworks. Wow. And we are so fortunate to have such great local bands that come out and support us in a wide variety of music. So really there's going to be anything to fit your musical desires. You know, there's anything from jazz to rock and everything in between, really.
Can you tell me the names of some of the bands?
Yes, actually, I brought the list. Wickersham Brothers is going to be there. Juke Joint Jive is there. Chris Worth and Company is going to be there. Big Caddy Daddy will close out the night, along with Heady Times and Carmen B. So just a variety of bands.
And the whole day is family friendly. I mean, there are activities for kids, for families. Tell me a little bit about that.
Absolutely. We start out in the morning. We've got several races. We are actually excited this year to be adding to our family-friendly 4K that we've done with great success every year. We've added a mud run to that, and we've also partnered with Fort for Fitness, and we're going to be the kickoff location for their kids marathon event. And we're going to start that with the kids 400 meter race, which is going to be a blast. It gives the kids kind of a chance to participate in that as well, and then get signed up for the marathon that Fort for Fitness does.
And so the event starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, is that right?
So there's things that even start earlier than that. The mud run's at 8:30.
Okay.
People can come as early as 7:30 to register. Most of the events start after 10. We have our press conference and opening ceremonies that will start right at 10 o'clock at the bridge. And so there's going to be lots of energy and excitement there as well. So.
And fireworks to cap it all off at the end of the night.
Fireworks, that's one of the best parts, actually.
And there's information about it can be found on your website. And you were saying earlier that people still can sign up to volunteer.
Yes, go to our website. It is not too late. We still have opportunities to come out and volunteer. You can still sign up for our races on our website, and you can find out all kinds of information. It's ipfwriverfest.org.
Okay, great. So Saturday, June 22nd, a little earlier than 10, even at 8:30,
yes.
Everything on the website.
Yes.
Well, Sarah, thank you so much
Thanks
for being
having
here.
me.
While we get ready for our next segment, please take a minute to view our performance calendar of what's coming up in our area. You also can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We'll be right back with local musician Fernando Tarango. Fernando Tarango is a professional vocalist, singer-songwriter, and actor. He has produced and recorded music for MTV, VH1, and the Oxygen Network. As a recording artist, Fernando has been featured as the solo vocalist for 5 albums, ranging from folk to jazz to Gregorian chant. He began his professional music career at the age of 10, traveling the world, performing and recording with the American Boy Choir School in Princeton, New Jersey. He continued his musical studies at the University of Michigan, earning his degree in vocal performance. Fernando is currently living and working as a musician in his hometown of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where he continues his graduate studies in composition and audio technology at IPFW's Sweetwater Music Technology program. He is currently composing a one-man multimedia musical and working on his next recording project as the frontman for the jazz rock band the Wickersham Brothers, a group that is performing at this Saturday's Riverfest. I'm so glad to have you on Arts Weekly, Fernando.
Thanks for having me.
Well, you know what? Let's start out with the fact that you're not just a musician. I've seen you, do a lot of things, and reading that, I'm like, wow, he's done so many things. Tell me about what you do besides play the guitar and sing.
Besides playing the guitar and sing, I'm I mean, primarily I'm a vocalist, vocalist and performer. So I perform with the Philharmonic as a soloist, or with Heartland Sings, and you know, I also teach voice lessons, and also produce music, write music. You know, help and develop a family band called Pinky Swear, and also act, you know, in television commercials and production companies, and you know, studying audio technology and composition, and just, you know, I like lots of things.
That's a very wide range of things that are just kind
Sorry,
of branching off
out
of music. But you perform so many different kinds of music. I've seen you in so many different genres. You know, do you have a favorite, or do you like doing all of it?
I mean, Wickersham Brothers is definitely my current favorite, because I write the music. I've you know, built the relationships with the musicians, and you know, we're really you know, working on something and building it together. So I love that. But I also love the aspect of performing, and just that challenge that it brings. So even for, you know, a commercial, if you're, you know, just a bartender and just trying to be the best bartender I can possibly be, or even with the Philharmonic and being up there alone in front of all these tremendous musicians, and all the pressure that brings. So just everything you know, stimulates me in a different way, and I like to have all those aspects of my talents really stimulated, and constantly challenging myself and trying to brush up on skills that I may have forgotten.
Yeah. Now, tell me a little bit about Wickersham Brothers. What kind of band is it? Were it jazz, rock, and who is in this with you?
So the lineup is Cale Reese is an excellent bassist. He tours with Bluebird Revival. Colin Boyd, he's the host of Burnt Toast Show, and he has the Colin Boyd Trio. Jason Markson, he plays congas and auxiliary percussion. He's the Fort Wayne Fringe founder. And then Logan Weber, who recently graduated from the IPFW. He's an excellent saxophonist and composer as well. And then I'm on acoustic guitar and main vocals.
And I know I've seen that you've played lots of places in Fort Wayne. I think that's a great popularity that I think you have growing.
Oh yeah,
for that
I mean,
group.
That's definitely the you know, the plan, just try to build popularity, build that following, and try to build on the opportunities that brings, and hopefully start branching out within the Midwest regions. Just sort of represent all the you know, there's so much going on in Fort Wayne, and just trying to be sort of an ambassador of the arts and represent what's going on here.
Well, and you've done so many collaborations with other artists over the years. So tell me a little bit about who you've collaborated with, you know, locally or regionally.
Oh, I mean, Samir Patel. We've collaborated in creating some, you know, some children's programming for the Fort Wayne Philharmonic and throughout the region. I collaborate with, you know, just this week I was with, you know, Jason Markson and Logan Weber in the studio trying to produce some tracks. And you know, so I was behind the console on that one, and you know, just collaborating there. I've helped through the Sweetwater Technology Program, helped to record Hope Arthur's new album that'll be coming out, and that's the beauty of the Fort Wayne community, is that everybody's able to collaborate. You know, even did an impromptu collaboration with the Fort Wayne Ballet for their groundbreaking of the Black Box
a couple
Theater,
weeks ago, yeah.
which was exciting, and just there's so much of that going on. I think really, you know, once all these different ingredients are coming together, you know, Fort Wayne's going to start building its own sort of style, and you know, currently is building its style, and you know, its take on music and the arts.
Well, and you recently collaborated with the Mikautadze Dance Theatre.
Oh yeah, how did I forget that
Yeah,
one?
well, we happen to have a little clip
Ooh, awesome.
of your performance for that. So, you know, if we could bring that up, I think we're gonna. You're playing your acoustic guitar and singing in this,
yes.
correct?
They commissioned me to do this piece about the dance that was coming up after.
So you're kind of the introduction to the dance.
Yes.
Okay, great. Let's watch.
Time and time again, I flew against a window pane, and her fire grew dim, and I was never let in. was never let in, was never let in. Oh, your love was a deep red wine, grown through heartbroken soil and cast in time. And I'm stained with your love. Oh, I'm stained with your love. Oh, I'm stained with your burgundy love. Your burgundy love.
Wow, you have got an amazing range.
Ooh, thank you.
I mean, you know, do you? I, w- I don't even know what the proper professional term is for the range that you sing. I mean, you're tenor or higher than
I'm a tenor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but is that music that you wrote specifically for that show?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wrote that piece for that.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's lovely.
Thank you.
How did you get started in this, you know, eclectic career that you have? I mean, you know, knowing that you've been doing this for a long time, you know, as a child even. Was your family musical? Is that where it started?
Most definitely. My mom was a music teacher, and you know, my first music teacher, and you know, we often had family get-togethers, and there's, you know, a guitar floating around, and you know, had 4 sisters, and they're always singing in the car, and you know, they were always, you know, putting the tape deck onto the radio and trying to catch the songs and getting the lyrics and learning them, and so music has always been a part of that. And then at an early age, went to a boarding school for music from 5th through 8th grade with the American Boy Choir School, and we, you know, we were a professional boy choir, so we traveled around the world. You know, we would, you know, sing in New York City, Carnegie Hall, Avery Fisher, or, you know, they'd call us in for a commercial. You know, it's be like, all right, guys, we're going to New York City for a commercial. You know, here's the music. We're learning it on the bus, kind of thing. And so I think that's, you know, that was my expectation with music growing up, was to be, you know, very busy, very high in demand, and very broad in what you can do and how quickly you can learn things. And sort of that's always been my expectation. So growing up musically, I've always, you know, trying to keep that level of stimulation and also that broad, you know, that broad range. Because when a professional boy choir, you're not just doing classical music or church music. You know, sometimes you're doing little poppy, you know, pop commercial jingles, or you know, you're doing a television commercial and you're on camera. So I think that's a little bit of that aspect.
That's just amazing that your education started so young. I mean, you know, as a child like that. I mean, that's got to have really shaped your experience, because a lot of people don't start that till maybe high school, or, you know, when they go away to school, to college, they think, oh, well, maybe music's for me. But
I was very fortunate to be able to see firsthand some amazing performers and amazing performances, and really work with amazing musicians at a really early age. So I think that's sort of...
And to know you were comfortable with it and thought that, you know, that'd be a world in which you'd like to live.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Now, and then in college, so you just continued vocal performance.
I studied vocal performance at the University of Michigan School of Music.
So it just continued the career, and then back home here to Fort Wayne.
Well, I mean, after college, I actually went out to work in California for a friend of mine who he created the Pacific Boy Choir Academy, which was a day school much like the school that I went to.
I see.
And I went out there and worked for a little bit as a professional vocalist and working with them, and then I came back to Indiana.
Came back. Now, Riverfest, you're performing with Wickersham Brothers.
Yes.
So that's coming up on Saturday. What time are you performing?
4 p.m.
Okay,
Yes.
so 4 p.m. and
Yeah.
people can come by and see you. But you've got some things coming up right after that too. Wickerfest in
Yes.
the Downtown Improvement District. Tell me about that.
That will be at 9 p.m. at the corner of Calhoun and Wayne Street, and that's just a huge event downtown with all these street performers. So that should be a really exciting, fun, friendly time. And we're the band right before Pyrotechnic, which is a fire circus show from Chicago.
Oh.
So I'm very excited about that.
Well, I was, reading and talked a little bit about this one-man multimedia. Is that a show? Is that a
It's a work in
performance?
progress
Okay.
right now. So I've been studying composition as part of my master's degree program here with Dr. Rutkowski. And we've studying composition and really working hard and hitting the notes. And our idea is to branch from traditional composition and move and segue into multimedia and start exploring maybe the non-traditional ways of composition, such as sequencing and utilizing audio technology and all the benefits that has to offer.
Well, that sounds very exciting. So if people want to contact you, do you have a website?
Definitely, FernandoTarango.com.
That's simple to remember.
Oh,
and
yes.
they can find you on Facebook and
Definitely
YouTube and
Facebook,
Twitter. And
Twitter, all that
all of
good
those. I think
stuff.
all of that's up on the screen. Well, good luck and thank you so much for being here,
Thank you.
Fernando. I'm Melinda Haynes with the IPFW College of Visual and Performing Arts. Please join me next time on Arts Weekly when we'll discuss the Downtown Improvement District's Wickerfest taking place June 29th, and we'll learn about the Blackhawk Summer Theater's July 5th and 6th production of How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying with director Christopher J. Murphy. For up-to-the-minute arts updates, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and be sure to join us here live Thursday evenings at 7:30 on PBS 39. Thank you for watching.
The preceding program on PBS 39 was made possible in part by Arts Weekly, celebrating regional expression, performance, and creativity, is brought to you in part by the Edward D. and Ione Auer Foundation, the Ian and Mimi Rowland Foundation, the family of Dr. Christopher and Kirsten LaSalle, and the support of viewers like you. Thank you.